Hello, fans of Let's Talk Chicago Bears. Well, another loss, as we all know. And you know what? It was very discouraging last night, as I'm sure all of you were thinking last night. I don't know. You were going in, it's a Monday night game, it's at home. The defense has been playing well. I thought maybe. And I predicted last Friday, if you remember, I said if the Bears get two turnovers and keep their penalties under five, they should win that game. Well, guess what? They got two turnovers and they only had one penalty. One penalty. Can you believe it? For 5 yards. That was it. And they lost. So I guess those predictions mean shit, but they should. They give up only 19 points. They get two turnovers. They have a run back, kickoff run back, one penalty, and they still cannot win. So I don't even know what to say. It's just the defense, the offense is bad. And we've got talent. It's just really a shame. So let's kind of review the game, and then we'll kind of go over it. So, as I said, the Bears had two turnovers. Actually, Minnesota had two turnovers. The Bears had one penalty, 5 yards. Minnesota, it was a clean game. It went fast. That was the only good thing about it, because it went fast. When you're doing so bad, it's best to get the game over with, because they only had four penalties. So it was a very clean game, which is kind of refreshing for once. But this is the bad part. The offense last night, do you know they had a total of 149 yards for the game, offensive wise? Now, that does not include Patterson's run back, because that's off kickoffs. They had 108 total passing yards and 41 rushing. I mean, that's pathetic. I think I could get a football game going in this neighborhood with all us old farts, in Vegas, and we could probably do better than that. I know that I could outrun Foles, that's for sure. My son says I can't, but I said I can. And I'm old and out of shape. Man, but we did have that wonderful kickoff by number 84, Patterson, and he went 104 yards. It was awesome. I just love this guy. He is really, really a bright spot on the offense. So, but let's kind of recap the game a little bit, and then we'll kind of keep going. So, the defense is good. We can't complain about the defense. I mean, they're not going to be perfect on every one. So, yeah, people say they gave up 19 yards, or 19 points, but a lot of that's on the offense, because they're constantly out there, the defense, and you can only do so much. And this is the NFL. You're going to give up points. But if you continuously give up 19 to 20 points or less, which they've pretty much been doing, except for one game, I think, you should win that game. The Bears, so they held them to 19 points. The Bears had 2 sacks, Mack and Roquan Smith. And I got to tell you, Smith, he's number 58. He's our linebacker. He is getting better each and every week. That guy was all over the field last night, if you noticed. He was everywhere. I mean, he's really turning out to be what we expected when we drafted him. So that is a very bright spot. So he is only going to be better and better and better. So that's a good thing. We got to concentrate that. And Danny Trevathan last night, man, he had an interception in the first quarter, and he was kind of balling last night too. He was all over the place. So I was like seeing Danny, the old man, all over the place. But we're going to talk about that. So Danny gets the interception. After the Bears, on the second snap that Minnesota had, he gets an interception. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. I said to my son, there's one of the two I predicted. This is going to be a good night. So you think that, right? I'm sure all of you out there were saying the same thing. We got an interception this early in the game, right? So then Foles and the offense comes out. And what happens? Two snaps later, Foles overthrows Miller, 17, and Minnesota. It was overthrown, tipped, and landed in the Minnesota hand. They get the ball right back, interception. They go down the field and score 7 points. Thank you, Nick Foles, once again. So, you know what? That's half on the defense and half on the offense because the defense is probably like, we just got you a turnover. They could barely get on the bench, and then they're walking back out there again. That's just BS. But good thing, another thing the defense did, Delvin Cook, um, in the two prior games to this Bears game, he had over 330 yards in those two games. Him and Derrick Henry are 1 and 2. I'm not sure how they are in running back, so leading the league. So the Bears held Delvin Cook to 99 yards, but most of those yards, because at one point I think it was the third quarter, had only 60 yards. And for 3 quarters, holding Delvin Cook to that is pretty dang good. I mean, it really is. We did good with Derrick Henry the week before, so the offense is doing their thing, right? And but the rest of the yards that Delvin Cook got were in the fourth quarter, and Hicks was out. That's the thing to remember. Hicks got hurt at the end of the third quarter, hurt his hamstring, which really concerns me. And then you notice all of a sudden, boom, he's getting some chunks. So those 99 yards, it was 60 in the middle of the third quarter, and then it went up to 99. And I believe a lot of it had to do because 96 Hicks, my man, went out. So let's pray that this bye gives them a chance to help the hamstring, and that they were being cautious and not putting him back in. Fuller, another one. He was knocking down passes last night, and he was playing really well. He knocked down a couple passes that were awesome, and I don't think he's getting enough credit this year. But we've been so spoiled because he's always been pretty good. He only had one really bad year with the Bears, and then he bounced back. So you can't blame him. Really, on the offense, Fuller, Mack, Smith, they're just balling. They are all so great. Now, if we could only put the defense and our kicking team out on the field as offense, maybe we could win. Maybe that's what we should start to do, because we got a couple field goals from our field goal kicker, excuse me, and then we had that run back. So that was our points. 6 points for field goals and 7 points for the run back on the kickoff. So essentially, the Bears' offense really did shit last night. And we're going to talk about that. But my props go out to the defense. We all know it is not on them. And you know what? I got to tell you, I heard that after the game, Eddie Jackson stood up and gave a really good speech. I guess he was like, come on, you guys. We can't walk off the field with our heads down. We got to keep up. So I think that because there's, no one's really stepping up and taking charge and being see, Mac, you would think it would be Mac, but he's not like that. He's more of a just keeps to himself. So I'm really glad to hear that Jackson, because you know what, he had a couple missed tackles again. I love him. He can knock things down. He can get interceptions, but boy, sometimes he cannot tackle. He just can't. But I'm really glad to see that he's like, okay, we're 5-5. And we still have a chance. I mean, the Bears have a chance to have a 500 season, and that's about what we're hoping for at this point, right? So, as we said, they only scored, total 13 points. And the Bears in the second half of the game had 4 3-and-outs. Now, again, that's not going to help your defense at all. And they were fast 3-and-outs. Boom, boom, boom. I did not see any better play calling. There was a few, In the first half, it seemed like the Bears were kind of like on a rhythm, and then boom. So in the first half, what stood out to me that was bad was the Bears had the ball down in their end, and it looked like, okay, we're going to score a touchdown, and then Foles overthrows his receivers twice, and we had to settle for a field goal. At that point, it was 7-3, Minnesota 7, us 3. Then, with under 2 minutes left in the first half before halftime, the Bears, the Bears were going down the field again. So I'm thinking, okay, here we go, here we go. But then what happens? Throw of Foles throws into double coverage. No chance of that ball being caught by a Bears receiver. We're just lucky it wasn't intercepted. He had no business throwing that ball. Boom. We have to settle for another field goal. At half, it's 7-6. Minnesota's winning at that point. And it's just, at that point, my son and I are just looking at each other, and I'm like, and the chances we had. Again, Foles, in my opinion, has been overthrowing everybody since he's been in. I think, and I say it every week, the experiment's over. Well, we'll see. So we'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll get on to the Foles band. I'll do my bitching about him. The Bears came out. Of course, the first play in the second half was the kickoff return by Patterson, 84, and he ran 104 yards to give us 7 points. That was so exciting. We were going nuts. My son and I were jumping up and down. The cats were getting freaked out. Then we're up 13-7. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is a pick-me-up, right? So we're kind of getting enthusiastic. Yeah, here we go, man. So then the Bears come out, and they get Minnesota to do a 3-and-out after they got, then of course Minnesota got the ball back. They went 3-and-out. They punt the ball to the Bears, and then it starts. Harris, 86, I believe he's a tight end, fumbled the damn frickin' ball. Oh my God, I was so pissed. I wanted to take that TV off the wall and throw it out the window. I swear to God. And then Minnesota goes down. Fortunately, they only scored a field goal, but it doesn't matter. So now it is, I don't care what the score was. Then, as I said to you, the Bears in the second half had 4 3-and-outs, and they had, I don't know, it just pisses me off. In the second half, Foles got sacked. He was, he's trying to run, and his running is so pathetic. I just couldn't believe it. He runs like a frickin' old lady. Oh my God. Okay. So then what really got me mad with play calling, this is what drives me crazy with the Bears, and they've been doing it so much this season, and I don't get it. They don't have the talent like some teams do to throw behind the line of scrimmage and then get past the front line of the other team and make yards. It just hasn't happened all year, and we know it. If you're a true fan and you've been watching, you pay attention, those aren't working. Don't ever put one of those back in the game. So what do? With 3 minutes left in the game in the fourth quarter, the Bears have a third down, and they need 5 yards to get a first down. And I believe we were around the 50-yard line maybe. And so what stupid play do they call? Instead of doing a short pass down the field to maybe, Patterson or Knoll, or that other guy was in, that new guy that just came off the practice squad. Do a short 2-3 yard quick pass out of Foles' hands so they can't sack him. Just plop it over the defensive line and let them go get the 5 yards. No, they call the play. He goes back and he throws it to his receiver, and it's 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And then his receivers now got to go 8 yards to get the first down. And now it's fourth. They didn't get it. So then Foles, of course, it's the end of the game. They got to go for it on fourth down. So he gets what he wants. The Bears have what they want. Miller slightly outbeat his defender and should have been a touchdown. It should have been a touchdown. And what happens? Foles overthrows him. Oh, shocking by inches. I heard the guy on the TV say he should have caught that. But if you look at it, there was no way he could. He just, it's on Foles. And I don't know. You know what? And at that point, it was all she wrote because the game was it was over after that, so we knew it. And then, so I taught. So the Bears' defense and Foles is awful. I don't know what they're going to do. I honestly don't know what they're going to do. Although I heard that Miami released yesterday afternoon Jordan Howard. Remember him? He was our running back, 4 years ago, and they released him. They didn't sign him, is what they did. And maybe the Bears should try to go get him because you know what? It's better than nothing. And if we can get him cheap, we need another running back. Why not? We know him. He's a good guy. Go get him, right? So I don't know. We'll see what happens because the Bears have got to do something. And then what happens at the end of the game? Foles gets hurt and carted off the field. I swear he said, "Put me on a cart," so it made it look worse for him. He's such a pussy. He can't even walk off the field when he's hurt. Oh my God. So then he goes down. And I'm like, if Mitchell was only healthy, Mitchell would have come in. And that could have started, in my opinion, the switch back to Mitchell. Because it should be back to Mitchell, and you know it. Foles is not the answer. I know Mitchell has a sore shoulder, so we've got a bye. So we've got over 10 days to get these guys healthy. We've got to get Hicks healthy with his hamstring. We do know that Mac's been beat up, so we need to get him healthy. And let's get Mitchell healthy. Let's work on Mitchell. I'm sure they're going to try to get, they're going to get Foles healthy, of course. But I think it's time for Mitchell to come back in. I mean, I am sorry, but it is, the bottom line is it's time. It's the Foles, and I know I sound like a broken record, but he just doesn't make good decisions either, in my opinion. He just doesn't. I don't get it. And it's time. Out he goes. Time for Mitchell. Don't you guys agree? Could Mitchell do any worse? No. See, that's the thing I'm thinking at this point. He's not going to do any worse than Foles. So let's get him healthy in the bye. And then start Mitchell. It's on the 29th. It's a Sunday night game. Oh, great. National TV again. And it's Green Bay. Yeah. So we better be healthy and ready to go. One good thing about having the bye is they're not going to lose next Sunday. So we don't have to worry about another loss on Sunday. You can have a good day. So really, you know what? It's been 5 weeks now, if not more. And Foles, I just don't get it. I hope that somebody, Ted Phillips or George McCaskey, says, if Mitchell's healthy, I want him back in. They're paying his paycheck. They could tell Nagy, we're done. So I think Nagy's probably done. I heard that there was rumors back in Illinois. Like I said, I don't listen to the radio in Illinois too much, that he's going to get fired. And there was a rumor, and I don't know if this is true, but I hope not, that Jim Harbaugh would be our next coach. Well, why would we want him? Have you seen what he's doing? He's the University of Michigan's coach in Ann Arbor. Have you seen what he's been doing the last few years? And particularly this year, he can't win a game. We don't want him. If he can't win in college with Michigan, which they get good players, no, we don't want him. And I hear he's been wearing out his welcome. He wore out his welcome in San Francisco, and now he's wearing out his welcome in Michigan. We don't want him. I don't know what the answer is on the coaching, but that's later down the road. You know what? So, you know what? My son said to me last night, and it was really kind of sad. He said, I'm embarrassed to be a Bears fan, and I'm not wearing my Bears stuff anymore because it's embarrassing. And I certainly can't blame them. I agree with them. I've been through it for years. Like I said, I've been a fan since the 70s. And, but isn't that sad? And I said, oh, come on, man. You got to love them anyways. I don't know. We still love them. I do love them, but I'm just so mad at them because you, you got to go on 2/3 of your team and you can't get that one piece, that one little piece. They can score 13 freaking points. They really, I mean, offensively, they scored 6. So let's forget about the 7 that Patterson did. I don't know. I'm just, I'm so tired. And I want to sing the Bears touchdown song, and that's not going to happen. So I don't know, fans. But I'm going to keep up. See, oh, that's the other thing I heard that, the thing is, if the Bears want to go get a quarterback in the draft next year, which who knows what it's going to look like with all this freaking COVID crap going on, there's a lot of teams ahead of them that are bad. So they're going to have the best picks. So I don't know what the Bears are going to do. We're going to probably talk about that a lot in the next, 5. Well, the Bears are 5-5, so we have 6 more games left, right? Yes. So the next 6 weeks, I'm sure we're going to be talking about this a lot, but I don't know. It's just certainly not encouraging, but I will always be a Bears fan, and I will always watch them. So hang on, stick with me. Hopefully, I can make you laugh. I mean, come on. When you turn this show on, tell me this does not make you smile and laugh. Come on, admit it. I am pretty funny looking. Okay. And I want everybody to stay happy, healthy. Right now, the numbers are going back up. It's really discouraging. It is not helping that the Bears are losing. It would really pick me up. I'll tell you, I'm a little down with everything that's going on. I'm really worried about the holidays, Christmas in particular. So if the Bears could win, man, that would really cheer me up. Wouldn't you guys agree? So I'm going back to wishing Santa Claus brings us a quarterback next year. Santa, I've been a good girl this year. So, all right, I'm done. Blah, 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 blah. So, again, thank you for your support. I wish that I had good news on these shows. I really, really do. I'm beating a dead horse by saying the same stuff, but the same stuff is happening every week. I'm right, and I have been right all season. People are just starting to realize it. Even my son last week started jumping on my bandwagon, and last night he started jumping on the Foles sucks bandwagon because my son, God bless him, he's been loyal to Foles, and because he's been blaming the line, but the line played better last night until the second half. So, but again, the line is hurt. But we'll see. But thanks again for your support. Keep on watching me. Please tell everybody about me. And obviously, there's no game on Sunday, so I will maybe do a show. I'll be back next Monday. Maybe Friday. So keep an eye out for me Friday or Monday to kind of get us ready for the next game, which is on the 29th, Sunday night against the Packers, and who I cannot stand. And I'll tell you one thing. If we beat the Packers twice this year, that would be enough for me at this point. I don't know about you guys. All right. Keep safe. Help people. Love people. Let's stick together because that's all we got, Bears fans, right? And as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. I'll see you later.